To allow all attendees to hear you, this system will notify you once you begin your broadcast.
All right, we had a little bit of a whoops. Everyone's going to have to re-log in to the same webinar. Scott inadvertently, presumably it was Scott, inadvertently ended the webinar, and that's okay. We already have by far the lion's share of people back on, so that's okay. Let me jump over to the NHB Facebook team and put a quick note up about that. Scott inadvertently accidentally ended the Webby jump back on. All right. So we we have most everybody back on. I think that most people figured out what to do pretty quickly there. You know, it is live. This is what happens when things are live. Every once in a while, you'll get a bit of a moment in time there. So, little things will happen here and there. It's okay. So let's see if we can. Scott, I think Scott is back on. So let's make Scott an organizer again. Scott, are you are you there? We'll see. Scott, are you there?
All right, I'm here. Wow, I am sorry.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Everybody ends a webinar accidentally at some point in your life. It may as well be now. And as you can look and see, we only have about 10 people who haven't managed to log back in.
I'd say that's pretty impressive. A lot of people are logging in left and right. Wow.
Okay, well, that's a fun one. Well, that makes it all the more valuable for us to get to this. So what we're going to do is we're going to do a bit of role playing with Scott here. So Scott, let's say that let's do this as if it's a phone call. So I give you a call. I got your number from somebody else that you're doing SEO for, and let's kind of walk through this. So ring ring.
Hello, this is Scott. Can I help you?
Hey, this is Randy. And is this SEO? Is this the SEO?
Oh yeah, absolutely. How you doing, Randy?
I'm doing really good. I'm with Auto Power, and we are I don't know if you've heard of us, but we're a dealer local in the area. We actually have 7 different locations spread throughout the region, and we are actually.
What can I do for you?
Well, we actually got your name from somebody else. We're actually doing a pretty broad search for SEO right now. We're interviewing a bunch of different folks when it comes to SEO and doing our SEO for us. We've done paid advertising in the past, and we do a lot of TV spots and stuff like that, infomercials and so on. And what we want to do is we want to get into the SEO. We haven't really got into it. We've been educating ourselves. We've been getting up to speed with it. We know there's a lot to it, and some people are having trouble with it. Some people are able to do it. But we got a recommendation from one of your clients, and he put us on to you. So I wanted to give you a call and see if you could come in and meet with us about the SEO.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Definitely found the right place. One thing I can guarantee is I'm probably the best person, not only in town, but in the entire region. And yeah, I would love to sit down and speak to you and see what I can do for you, and just listen to you. My first meeting usually goes real laid back, real simple. Meet at a coffee shop or wherever you feel comfortable, and I like to just bring my notebook and just listen. You tell me your needs, your business needs, your marketing needs, where you're lacking in marketing, and we'll just do a real nice, easy conversation, and I'll give you a free consultation right after that. And then we'll get together again in the future. Does that sound like something you're interested in?
Yeah, we need you to come in to Auto Power to meet with us,
Sure.
if that's possible. Could you meet maybe tomorrow at 4 p.m.?
I can probably do that. You just give me just a second. Let me check my calendar here real quick. It's actually right next to me. It's one of those digital calendars. You said 4 o'clock?
Yeah, 4 p.m.
Yeah, I think 4 p.m. can work. I have an appointment at 5, but it's right down the street from where you're at. So yeah, that sounds great.
Okay.
It shouldn't take more than half an hour, just the initial consult anyways.
Okay, great. All right, great, Scott. So let's fast forward to the actual interview process. So you meet with Randy, and his supervisor Keith, and they sit you down. I want everyone to imagine this is like a Scott walks into the dealership. It looks like kind of like a regular run of the mill dealership. It's not like Honda or something like that. It's their own brand. It's a used car lot, and they have salespeople walking around and secretaries on the phone and stuff like that. And Scott gets ushered into a back room where there's maybe it's like 10 feet long and 5 feet wide. It's kind of a small room, and he sits down kind of in a center seat where they ask him to sit down, where Keith and Randy have him sit down, and then Keith and Randy kind of flank him on either side, and they begin by Keith says hi, I'm the I'm the head of the tech team here at Auto Power, and we're glad you came out. We're interviewing a lot of different people for SEO right now, and one of the things that Randy said is that you really feel like you're really good at what you do. What is it that makes you, this may be a tough question for you to answer, but what is it that makes you different than other guys that are out there in your market?
Well, it's actually pretty easy, Randy. I am somebody that's different than your average SEO firm. That's probably mostly who you've spoken to. These guys outsource most of their work. Their employees that they have working for them are 9-to-5 employees. They don't have the passion that your traditional SEO guy has, an individual like myself, and keeping up with the education. That's the most important thing. Your average SEO firm was probably started by a motivated SEO individual, maybe back in 2006, 2007, 2008, whenever it might have been. And they did well, they grew, and then they started hiring people to do the work for them, which is not a bad business idea, business plan. But in the world of SEO, there's so much change that they've lost touch with the change. Their employees, most of them wouldn't care, and that just makes common sense. I mean, they're getting paid an hourly wage or a salary, so they're not going to go spend their off hours learning SEO. So that's where I come in. Not only do I have the knowledge the big firms don't have, but I have that personal touch. I'll listen to your needs, what you need, what you want, what you're looking for. I will throw in some recommendations, give you your free analysis, and then we'll go from there. And I just got to throw it out there right off the bat is I'm an old school kind of guy, tell it like it is, whether you like it or not. So if I do the research and I see that you want this, but I can't give you that for a fair price, or I don't think you're going to get a good ROI on what I can provide, then I'll let you know. We'll just part ways, no big deal. And I also don't operate under a contract traditional
Oh,
way.
that's good. Yeah, that's definitely good.
I don't play those games because I know you're going to love my service. I'm going to provide you service you've never seen before. And if you've never had SEO, well, it doesn't matter. You're never going to have another SEO guy again, because I'm going to make you happy. Your ROI is going to go through the roof. And this is a good mutual benefit, not having the contract, because I also am an individual that likes to work with moral, quality people, quality businesses. If I start getting the feeling, whether it's through reviews or other personnel that do some shady things on the side and shady practices, then I have the power to drop you as a client. I hope you respect that and understand that. But that's
actually, that's been something that we've. I really appreciate you saying that, because one of the things that we've been struggling with, we're at the top of the heap for our particular brand of what we're doing. We're in financing, so we're more actually a financing company than we are a car dealership. A car dealership. Oh shoot, we're getting that same echo again. All right, Scott. Can we get you, Scott? Can we get you to relog without ending the webinar? Okay, I'm going to get Scott to rejoin, and we're just getting some sort of a computer glitch. So up to this point, I think that a ton of what Scott has been saying and doing, I actually feel like he's better than I am. But by quite a bit, which I can really appreciate. Tom says, "You could say that again." Absolutely. Let me see. We still have a couple people logged out of the webinar, so I'm going to try to reach some of those individuals and make sure that they've got a login link to get back in to into the webinar. Oh, that's wonderful. Sarah says that was awesome. Yeah, I think it's great for you to be exposed to as many. And this, by the way, I think is a real world look at what it's like and the challenges, because Scott's really under a lot of pressure here. He's got 100 Project Xers watching him. He's kind of having to do this live and out of the blue. And so I think it's just a really valuable thing that we're doing here. That's a good question. Yeah, I'm curious, Paul, what he'll say about that. I did restart the recording, George. Thanks for asking. That's a great question. It's great. Mike Hayden said he learned something already. That's great. Oh, Stephen. That's wonderful. Stephen says Scott knocked the pants off a doctor group that I brought him into a call with. That's great. We'll have to bring Stephen live and ask him about that in just a second. Let me find out if Scott's back. Scott, are you there?
Unmuted.
Scott, are you there?
I'm here, and I'm trying to find a good way to exit without shutting everything down.
Okay, what you do is...
Do you still hear the echo?
Yeah, I still hear the echo. I'm going to mute you. Yeah. So what you do is you hit X as if you're going to exit the webinar, but when it says, do you want to end the webinar for everybody, don't pick that. What you want to do is pick leave webinar, and that's going to allow you to leave without ending the webinar. Let's give him a couple seconds there. I'm going to, and Scott's gone. I'm going to bring Stephen live to kind of keep things rolling. Stephen is Scott's childhood friend. He just joined OMG about a month ago. He's already gotten rolling. And Stephen said that Scott actually entered a meeting that he was having with the doctor group and really blew their socks off. Stephen, I just made you live. I didn't actually stop and check and see if you have a microphone. Are you there, Stephen?
Yeah, I'm here.
Great. There's a little bit of an echo when I'm talking. But can you tell us what it was like when Scott entered the meeting and what the context was?
Yeah, sure. I work in endoscopy, so the doctor group that I was working with, they have 7 rooms that do colonoscopies and EGDs. So they're doing procedures all day long. So they actually built a new center. It was worth about $2 million, and they have no web presence at all with it. And I just said, hey, listen, would you mind if me and my business partner could talk to you? And we scheduled a meeting with the head doctor there, and Scott basically just did his whole spiel, just like he did with you. And at the end of it, I called the doctor back when Scott wasn't on the line. He said, wow, that guy's really confident. He knew what he was doing, and I really enjoyed it. So I'm actually heading down Friday to do a Google Hangout with Scott, and he's getting up at 4:30 a.m. Mountain Time to help me with this presentation. So we're going to knock it out of the park.
That's awesome to hear. Let me ask you, Stephen, what were some of the objections or questions that the doctors brought up that Scott had to answer?
Well, one of the things was there's some of the doctors that they have 9 doctors in the physician group, and some of them have tried Doc or ZocDoc, which is kind of like Trulia or Zillow. They basically try to take leads for doctors and then sell them. So they kind of capture information and then resell it to the physicians. So Scott had to overcome that and said, well, hey, listen, instead of paying an extra middleman for a certain amount of leads, how about we just generate as much traffic as we can for you for an agreed upon price. So that was the main objection.
And what examples, if any, did Scott show during the meeting?
I'm sorry, say it again.
What example sites, if any, or example searches, if any, did Scott show during the meeting?
Well, Scott brought up the water damage St. George site, the Nashville SEO site, his Denver DUI attorney site, and I've actually got a site that's ranking for a national keyword #2 on Google right now. So we showed the doctor that one as well. So we had a couple good site examples of our own, and then also from you guys as well.
And what was their reaction to those sites?
They're pretty blown away, especially when we showed them the search volumes for what they're trying to do, and then what OMGers can do on a local market. They were pretty blown away.
That's awesome. Stephen, thanks for being such a good sport and coming on.
Well, thanks, guys.
All right, I'm going to mute Stephen. Let me see if I can bring Scott back on. Scott, are you there?
I'm here. I hope it sounds okay. I'm sitting in my office, aka my garage, and there's no noise anywhere, so I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, the main thing is, do you happen to have a headset? Or actually, not even a headset, just usually earphones. Right now, we're not getting the echo, so it's all right.
Okay, I'll search. I know I do somewhere. Just your basic Apple headphones somewhere.
Okay, well, let's press on with that for now.
Okay.
We got some great feedback there from Stephen on your doctor's meeting. Um,
Okay.
so, so let's say the tone of the meeting shifts, and they say, okay, so we want to rank number one for used cars Denver, and used cars in Denver and Denver used cars. How much is it going to cost us?
And that's where I sit down and say basically this. Well, that's something that I'll have to get back to you on. I have to do some research because I want to ensure that you get the best ROI for what you're paying for, and that varies. The higher the competition, the more work I have and the more resources I need to use to rank you, which means a higher cost. But I can't have that cost so high that you're not getting a return on your investment for me. So that's where I have to do some analysis, analytics for you. Maybe there's some wonderful keyword terms that you haven't thought of that I can find that has great search and great potential revenue and potential clients from that. So that'll be our next meeting. I will do some background research and free analytics for you. Don't worry about it. It's my cost, my gift to you. And all I ask is that we can set up a time here in the future, in the next few days, maybe a week, and we'll go over those prices and possible proposal.
Great. So give me some of the inside baseball, some of what's going on in your head as you're putting this proposal together. Maybe some things that have gone wrong in the past that your proposal is set to help you kind of guide you past. What are some of the things that the inner workings in your head as you're doing this?
As I'm always writing notes, just lots of random little notes of their needs, their proposed keywords. I'm trying to get their body language, what they can afford, what their budget is, and then I go back and I actually research the keywords, the local area, what kind of research results are there, what is their average sale, what do they make on an average sale? Let's say in this case a vehicle. Do some research on their business, basically their business aspect, and then their average conversions. Okay, let's say they get, for every 10 people that come into their dealership, how many do they actually sell? So these are questions I'm going to ask them, and I'm also going to do outside research for to get the numbers. It's a numbers game. That's all it is. It's a numbers game. You show them the numbers, and if it makes sense, they're going to go with you no matter what you present. Especially, you mentioned something at the very beginning. In this particular scenario, it was a recommendation, a personal recommendation from somebody else. Right there, I already have the upper hand, because there's already a referral, and referrals are huge. That way you can, as long as the numbers make sense, you can hand over pretty much any number per month, and they're probably going to bite on it as long as numbers make sense because they already have that trust factor.
So give us an idea of how you might price this out. Would it be difficult for you to look up some numbers here for a few minutes and come back with a price for me and tell me why?
No, not really. I don't think so. No.
All right, great. Yeah, can I give you a few minutes to do that, and you can just let me know when you're ready?
Sure, absolutely. What area? Let's just give like a city or something like that.
Let's make it. Does Denver sound good?
Denver sounds great. I'll do Denver.
Okay, great.
Sounds good.
All right, great. Thanks, Scott. All
Mm-hmm.
right, I'm gonna mute Scott there. Can I just get a huge thank you for Scott, because I think that was awesome. Yeah, that's great. Yeah, this is really cool. OMG is a city on a hill. It's for real. We're not playing around when we say it's a city on a hill. It really is. Yeah. Scott, hopefully you can see that. The thank yous are just absolutely pouring in. Absolutely pouring in. Great. So let me go over a few objections I think are going to come up. And here's the thing: how many people here, at least at least before you heard from Scott, how many people here felt like the competition is at least pretty intimidating when it comes to doing SEO in your city? Give me a number one if you feel like it's at least pretty intimidating, and give me a number two if you just don't feel intimidated at all. And I'm definitely curious how people feel. Getting a few twos, getting a lot of ones. That's great. I appreciate that. I really appreciate where you're coming from. What I want to do, let me just take a look at something. I want to see if, Jason Boyd is on. I want to bring Jason Boyd live. I'm going to make Jason an organizer. I haven't had Jason live on a webinar yet that I know of. If I have, it's been no, I have. I did actually. It was very emotional. It was about 6 months ago.
Hey, Mike.
Hey, Jason. Really glad to have you. Let me pull up your picture here. How much of that did you get to hear? That last bit that we did.
Yeah, I heard all that with Scott. I did have one question for him though. I wanted to know who the father was of the kid.
That's funny. Okay, so this is Jason Boyd. Jason's a daddy as well. He's a very successful OMGer. Wanted to actually thank Jason because he actually was helping out a new member of Project X. He was helping Lauren out a little bit. She was very grateful to you. And let me ask you. There's a particular question I want to ask you, Jason. First of all, I'm curious for any feedback that you had on what Scott said. But let me ask you this: that question I was just asking, what is a competition like? You're in Melbourne, Australia, which is a city of what is it? 2 million people? 3 million? How big is it?
Yeah, it's around that mark. I'm not sure to be honest, but yeah, two or 3 million.
So nowadays, what's your feeling like? Do you feel? I almost feel weird asking you this question because I think I know the answer, but do you feel intimidated by your competition in your area?
No, not at all. The only there's people that come and go, and there's people that can jump up the rankings quickly, but you usually find they're gone pretty quickly. So as a long-term business, I feel as though pretty much in the forefront in the Melbourne area anyway.
Yeah. So you feel really strong, and Melbourne, it's a big city. I mean, in America, it would be like one of the biggest cities. It'd probably be about the same size as certainly bigger than Nashville. Let's say it's many times the size as Nashville, and Nashville's quite a lucrative market for me. So, what is it that makes it so you feel confident that because you even feel like you can play with the big boys, even when big businesses come to you, you've had business deals as big as $50,000.
Yeah, the the basic thing with SEO, and I suppose with anything you learn, is that you take away all the packaging, all the marketing, and you need to know how to do SEO. And for anyone who's in NHB, they do know how to do SEO. They might be at various stages of learning how to do it, but at the end point, you know how to do SEO. You've got your skill. What you do with it is what can make you successful or not. But at the end of the day, you know how to rank a site. You know whatever niche you're in, whether you're targeting local clients, affiliate, whatever it is, the skills that you've learned allow you to rank whatever comes your way and fulfill the needs of clients, and that's what gives you the confidence to be able to sell the products you're selling to people.
Jason, when you joined us, you're a police officer. You quit your job as a police officer. You wanted a better life for your family. You're not an SEO expert, and you felt like time was against you before you joined us. Now, do you feel like time is on your side?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. In fact, I got myself into a situation now where I'm not living for that week-to-week money. I'm now pushing forward with some larger projects which will set me up for life basically. So it's been a huge turnaround from going from a week-to-week income into not being worried about money and being able to set yourself up so that in the future you can choose whether you work or not.
Yeah, I really like that. Now, how important has people want to know how important are PBNs? What would you say to them?
They're probably 80 to 90% of what goes into S.
So there, Jason. I heard you up to the point where you said 80 to 90% of SEO, and then you cut out. For me, anyways. Okay, I think Jason. We're having it's a night of go to webinar gremlins. Okay, I hear you back again.
You got me now, Mike?
I do. All right, great.
You got me now, Mike?
I do. So
Yeah, great.
I heard
Okay.
you up to the point where you said 80 to 90% of SEO right now is PBNs.
Yeah, for me anyway. I mean, there's obviously people that are doing various things, but um, for me, I still most of the power that my sites that are ranking come from PBNs, and there is other little things you can do that give you that extra 20%, but for me, PBNs are probably 80% of my power.
Jason, if you were starting from scratch, if I dropped you off in another, let's say in Orlando, Florida, with a laptop, a jar of peanut butter, a loaf of bread, you had maybe enough money to stay at a cheap hotel. You had to rely on Starbucks for internet. And you had to start from scratch. How would you do it right now today? But you still have your Project X access and all that stuff.
Uh, well, it's funny you say that actually. I'm meeting Lauren after this, so we're going to have a bit of a chat about exactly where to go with that. So, for me personally, I would still go. There's there's a few things that need to be done up front, and I think obviously the first thing you need to do is you need to learn how to do SEO. That's the most important thing. You can't just jump in and expect to make money without knowing your trade. So assuming we've learnt the SEO and we know what we're doing, the next thing I would be doing is two things. I would be developing my own SEO site that I'm going to use to sell to clients. And secondly, I would be developing my PBN network so that when I get the clients, I've got the ability to rank them.
Great, great. I really appreciate that. Now, let me ask you this: if you were to stop into, if you were to go into, did you hear our auto power meeting, the auto power sit down? Did you hear that part?
Yeah, I got most of it. Yeah.
Okay, so let me ask you: if I were to put you in the same position and you sat down with the guys at Auto Power and they said, okay, they gave you their spiel. We want to rank for used cars, Melbourne in this case. What makes you so special? What makes you different? Like, why should we go with Jason Boyd over somebody else?
Uh, it probably depends a little bit about how they came to me. If we use the same example as a referral again, it would be a matter of pointing back and talking about the person that referred me.
Okay. What if they came in off of your SEO site?
That's the easiest sell of all. If you're ranking number one for SEO Melbourne or wherever else, then the selling part of it's taken away. It's just then about whether they like you and how much you're going to cost. They know you can rank. So that's the easiest part of all, and that's where I made a lot of money.
Yeah. Yeah, that can really set you up. Well, now let's imagine it was something a little bit more of a networking situation where you met somebody at the coffee shop. Then how would you approach it?
Someone I knew or a random stranger?
Someone brand new. They kind of overheard you talking and it just went that way.
The first, I always think the most important thing is to develop an understanding of where they're at with their business and what their business is about. They know their business much better than you ever will. So the conversation would generally start off pointing around what they do in their business, what they're trying to achieve, how long they've been around, whether they've had any SEO work or web marketing work in the past. I wouldn't do any selling at all for the first portion of the conversation. Let them do the speaking, and it's really important to listen to them. They will tell you what they want. They'll probably more than likely tell you how much they're prepared to spend, and then you just come in and on top of that and fulfill their needs. If they want more clients, then you tell them I can provide you more clients. If they want a nice new website and they're not too concerned about the SEO, and if that's something you do, then you can look at selling them web design. But the first thing you need to hear from them is what they want from you, rather than you putting onto them the big sell and trying to sell them products they don't want. That just turns people off. It's more about fulfilling people's needs than you selling a product.
So if somebody wanted to rank number one, they came to you and they wanted to rank number one for used cars, Melbourne and Melbourne used cars. Do you know how you'd price it?
It depends on their website. If they had a nice, fresh, brand new website, no previous SEO work to ruin it, I generally work off about 6 months. I tell everyone it'll take 6 months and split that down into a monthly fee. For something like used cars, it's obviously fairly competitive. Without looking at the metrics and just going off what I know, I'd be looking at charging about 1,200 to 1,500 a month to do that over 6 months.
Yep.
And then after that 6 months, we sort of open up a discussion about a maintenance fee from there.
Okay, great. Would that maintenance fee typically be lower or higher than that $1,200 to $1,500?
It's usually lower. Sometimes clients want to keep paying the same amount and continue developing other terms. But again, I really don't work on sort of set packages and set prices. It's just you've got to fulfill their needs. If they get to that 6 months and they're ranking high and they're happy with just that term, then it might be about half of that. If they want to keep pushing for further terms and developing internal pages on the site that suit certain terms, then I'll generally keep the price about the same.
How many clients are you now operating with? About?
Well, I've actually got rid of a lot of clients and gone to a lot of private projects, but at my peak, I was probably dealing with about 30 clients
Oh my goodness.
monthly.
Wow.
You know, and now that's where I'm sort of in a position where I've been able to pick and choose. I've got, you know, higher end clients now. My best client's paying me $6,000 a month, and
Yeah.
I don't really work for about less than about probably 800 to 1,000 a month.
Yeah. Yeah. That's great. That's great. Um, yeah, I think this is really really just incredibly valuable. There's really I'm constantly blown away by what OMG is like, because we just have so many individuals that are having such incredible success. To just have them open up their hearts and share like this is so incredible. Let me dig a little bit deeper, Jason. Australian
Sure.
SEO. What's the sense that you get Australian SEO versus American SEO, and some of the key differences for people if they're trying to rank in Australia?
It's funny you asked that. I've been sort of doing a fair bit of research lately, and I, I think in the past there hasn't been much difference, but it's becoming that, and this is probably my estimate rather than something I've put in a solid theory, but I'm seeing a lot more Australian sites that are ranking well using Australian-based PBNs. Now,
Yeah.
they're not necessarily doing that correctly, and I think they will get found out in the end, but there
And
seems
when
to
you
be a
say
definite...
Australian based, do you mean just that they're hosted in Australia?
No, .com.au domains, and you know, there's one particular person here in Melbourne that's ranking quite well using expired Australian domains that is basically using GSA to
Oh yeah, that's going
pump
down.
up the authority. Yeah, but look, as I said, that's a short-term thing, and I don't think
Yeah.
it'll be around forever. At the end of the day, I don't do anything majorly different to what an American or what an Englishman or anyone else would do. It's might only be small little differences. I know we struggle a little bit ranking videos here in Australia, and I really don't know why that is, but otherwise it's 95% the same as anywhere else.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. This has been there's so many people writing in and saying this is excellent information. Thank you very much. If you'd like to thank Jason, I think this is incredible, taking time out of his valuable schedule to come on today, Jason. And when you started with us, really, you could hardly spell SEO. I think it's basically true.
It's CEO, isn't it?
That's great. That's wonderful. So I really appreciate you coming on and coming live and sharing that. I think that's um, just I don't know. I think it's just incredible. I think it's just incredible having you come on. Sean, by the way,
No.
said, "Oh, sorry. Go ahead."
Oh, no worries, Mike. The one little thing that's worked really well for me that others might be interested in is that I was approached by a digital agency. Now, there's nothing to say that people can't approach a digital agency in their own city, but basically I was approached and we worked out a deal where they weren't interested in doing the SEO, so I I suppose in a secretive way, did all their SEO for them, provided them with quotes, and they added a little bit on top of it. And digital agencies and digital strategy, digital media, web design companies, people should go and approach those and offer an all-in-one SEO solution that they can outsource. And it's just really easy work. You don't have to deal with clients. You just sit there and do the SEO work. Agencies will pay you, and they do all the client dealing.
Is everybody following what Jason's saying here? This is a real. I knew that Jason was doing this. I tend to try to keep things a little bit tight to the hilt until somebody really wants to reveal it. So basically, what Jason's doing, a big client source for him, is working with a digital agency. You can also work with web designers, and provide them an all-in-one SEO solution where you say, listen, I'll take care of your SEO customers for you. We'll kind of split the proceeds or something like that. Now, how do you price things out for them?
Generally speaking, they'll come to me with a client and say how much to do it. I'll give them a bare bones price, and then they add their amount on top of that. It's, they deal with huge clients, so they generally double my price and pass it on to the client, which is not a concern for me. But I've worked it out. I've actually do the behind work scenes for an SEO company as well, and it varies from company to company, the pricing model, but effectively they all come to me and say, I've got this client, they want to rank for these terms, how much? I'll get back to them with an informal quote, and they package that up in their logo and all that, and send it off to the client, and they deal with it from there.
Jason, how do you, Ken Klug is asking, how do you do your web design?
My web design, sorry?
Yeah, when you do a web design for a client, how do you accomplish that? Do you outsource it, or do you do it yourself? Is there a particular WordPress thing you like to use? What do you tend to do?
I don't do the web design. If it's my own sort of projects and stuff, I just use themes, Genesis, that sort of thing. If it needs to be a decent design from a client, then I'll pass them on. Again, I've got two particular contacts where the work flows both ways, but to be honest, I don't get a lot of people coming to me asking for web design. That's not an area I target, and so I don't get a lot of clients doing that.
Great. All right, Jason, I want to thank you. There's already been a lot of thank yous. I'd love to ask for another round of thank yous for Jason. He's been extremely generous with his time here, and I just think that this stuff is amazing. It's just so invaluable. You really can't get this anywhere. It's kind of funny because where do you get this? Like even if somebody came out with someone with comparable success to Jason, where we're looking upwards of $20,000 a month or even more, which is more than most doctors make, and they came out with a WSO and said, well, I'm going to tell you how I get clients and stuff like that, it would still be hard to get the kind of information that we got today. Somehow it's just so much more raw this way. And we're really getting just the behind the scenes. And this is just, we kind of caught Jason on a day where he's feeling particularly generous. He's a grateful guy. He's an awesome guy. And for him to come live and share this, to me, it's staggering. And then it becomes a part of our City on Hill community. And I'm so grateful to you, Jason. You become a friend and somebody who's helped us so much. And I just want to thank you.
No worries, Mike. You know that I owe a lot to you, so that's no issues at all.
No, I really appreciate it. Well, anyways, you can see the thank yous pouring in. Hopefully you can open up your question dialogue box, and there's just dozens and dozens of thank yous. We've got applause for you and lots and lots and lots of thank yous.
I appreciate that. My pleasure.
All right, great. I'm going to mute Jason here for a second. I'll leave him online. Let me check back with Scott and see. It's been only a short period of time since I contacted him. Scott, are you still there? How are things going?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm good.
You don't happen to be ready already, are you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, should I share the screen with you, or do you want to just verbally tell us what you've got?
Probably verbally, because I wasn't expecting a screen share.
Okay, great.
Because I don't want to end the webinar again,
Okay, sounds great. Okay, so let's click back over. Did you enjoy listening to Jason there?
Yeah, that's awesome, Jason. Yeah, you're a smart ass, buddy. Yeah, that's my boy. That's my boy.
Scott's still thinking about that first comment.
Oh, that's funny. Jason's a good guy. I like
He is
Jason.
a good guy. I absolutely agree with you. Okay, Scott. So pricing.
So pricing, I went to my usual sources for average searches and clicks and this and that. And unfortunately, right now, you know as much as anybody, a few months ago, Google stopped putting out their search results, so to speak, organic search results, how many clicks each site gets and all that. You know, it's their
Yeah.
way of trying to drive traffic to AdWords. That's all it is.
Right.
So occasionally, some of these tools, such as TLKT, the last keyword tool
Yep.
by Russ and Sue,
Yep.
Marcus Samurai, all that. Sometimes they just kind of get confused and don't get a whole lot. So I'm just going with a theoretical, since for time's sake. And let's see, where is it at here? So that theoretical, which probably is on the low side, to be honest, but I'm just going to go with 2,000 searches a month for Denver car dealership.
Okay.
So we use that as an example. And what I'll present to the client is, we can target Denver Jeep dealership, Denver Chrysler, Ford, whatever it might be, or even specific cars. So there'll be a whole lot of search analytics for time's sake. I would do a whole lot of different analytics, just see, what are people searching for, what are they looking for, and listening. That's the biggest thing of all, is listening to the client. What do they have? What do they want to sell? What do they make the most money on in this case? Do they make their most money on new cars, used cars? What kind of cars? So this is where the listening portion comes in. But for time's sake, I'm just going to go simple with Denver car dealership. And let's say there's 2,000 searches a month. I will show them the numbers of, okay, 2,000 searches a month. I will multiply that by 20%. In reality, in the number one spot, on average, 40 to 50% of all clicks click on the first organic search result. But I like to use low-end search results or low-end numbers for worst-case scenarios. So I use 20%. 20% of 2,000 is 400. So that's 400 clicks to your website if I can get you in the first spot. Out of those 400 clicks to your website, you're not going to get all of them to call or to come into the shop. So I'll use another 20% that are leads. These are people who are either calling and inquiring, or people who are actually calling in or coming in physically. So it'll be about 80 people. And these numbers are low averages. These are actual averages that have worked in the past for multiple situations. So you ask me, well, where do you get these numbers? Well, these are actual national averages and on the low end. So out of 80 individuals that actually call or inquire, and this is again where listening comes into play, I ask you, Randy, how many, what's your conversion ratio for clients? And Randy will say, you might be 50 or 60%, but say 20% again. All right, so it's 20% conversion for actual purchasing clients. Out of those 80 people who either call or come in to the dealership, 16 are going to be buyers. 16 out of the original 2,000 searches per month.
So you're selling 16 cars per month.
16 cars per month,
yeah.
Which again seems pretty realistic for somebody who has a couple dealerships.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, absolutely.
So we'll take those sales times your low average monthly value. Again, for time's sake, I threw out $2,000. That sounds pretty legitimate. It's probably higher, depending on, of course, if this is a used car dealership or new. But so we have $2,000 per sale profit to the business.
Right, so $32,000.
Well, 16 clients, purchasers, times $2,000 is $32,000. So here's the numbers. That's $32,000 you can make with my help minus my monthly fee. Okay, my monthly fee is $4,000 a month to get you ranked. This is a fairly competitive market, and I did do a quick search of Denver dealerships, and there's a ton of cost per click paid advertising, a ton of it, which means there's people are targeting that keyword for a reason, because there's purchasers, and there's a market there. They wouldn't be paying for cost per click advertising if there wasn't a market. I looked at the first 3 websites in the first 3 spots. They were all fairly well done, but all websites that I could totally just dominate. Move them out of the way.
How does that feel, by the way?
Oh, amazing. A little sense of power there. It's kind of fun. And so here I can get you, not only am I confident I can get you in this first spot, that is a no-brainer. I can do that. I ask that you give me 3 to 6 months to do that. And I don't ask for a contract like all most SEO firms do, because I know the services I provide will return you an income, a really favorable income, and you're going to be more than happy with my services. So that'll be $4,000 a month, recurring, to make $32,000 a month. So that's $28,000 a month profit. Does that sound good?
Yeah, probably sounds really
What
good.
you have right now?
Yeah, that's great.
And that's just one keyword. That's one keyword.
So
that is my fee.
Yeah, so this is the thing, and I love getting these different perspectives on things. I think that what you just shared is so valuable, and I really appreciate that. Let me ask you this. I asked this question to Jason earlier, and I want to kind of put it back to you. When I asked our audience here if they felt at least moderately intimidated, the majority of people said they felt moderately intimidated by their competition. What do you say to them?
The competition, most of it, once you learn everything there is to learn in the series, and I still, again, I keep saying this every time, I have a lot to learn. One of my future goals here in the next 2 weeks, land a couple more clients and just focus on not only their sites, of course, making them happy, but getting back into the basics and learning more. I don't do GSA campaigns right now. I don't have the program. I don't have the VPS servers. I don't have any of that right now. But that's okay. I'm still dominating, even though I only have half the tools that I'm actually using. So intimidation isn't there. And it goes as simple as this. One thing I always say, and I think I learned it from somebody in the group, or maybe you, Mike, I don't know, is actually, no, I think it was Alex Becker. Win before you begin.
It's David Mills. David Mills.
That David Mills?
Win then attack.
There it is. And it's so true. Win before you begin. And so if somebody comes to me and says, I want to rank for this keyword, this is my budget, and I do some research and realize, wow, that is a competitive keyword. It's going to take a lot of time, a lot of effort, and a lot of resources. I can't do it for that price. I'm going to tell them I can't help them. That's it. I'm going to be honest, straightforward, and that's it. That's all there is to it. But if I know I can win, I'm going to take them as a client.
How many people who are on this event right now, where it's a new feeling for you, how many people in this event now feel like they can approach a client where before they couldn't? Give me a number one if you can commit to approaching a client based on what you've gotten here today from Scott, from Stephen, and from Jason. And that's the best compliment. Thank yous are great. Thank yous are great. They're wonderful. They really matter. But the number one and taking action with this, that's a real power. And I hope, Scott, I hope you and Jason can see we have, I'll just start naming names here because I'm very proud of everybody here. Bob, Scott, Sarah, Paul, Richie, another Paul, Carl, Daryl, Adrian, Jeff, Pete, Andre, Craig, Arello, Jeff, Heidi, another Paul, Lauren, Heidi, Steve, Brian, Ken, Philip, Ted, James, Josh, Amber, another Ted, GBHJ, you're going to have to tell me what your real name is, Jeremy, Vivian, Brian. This is great. Connie, Orlando. This is really wonderful for me. This is what I want out of an acceleration event, and I hope that this idea of acceleration and what I want to get out of my particular events here that I'm doing so far on Wednesdays, I really want to accelerate you past a feeling of intimidation, a feeling like something's in your way. It's imaginary competition that's out there. One of the things from David Mills, and this goes along with win and then attack, it is imaginary competition. It is not real competition. They're not really in your way. And to put it, Scott, you're a military man. To put it in military terms, if you have a truly superior military, like say America has over, the Afghans or over, what was going on in Iraq, there's a reason why a very small number of Americans could rout a much, much larger army. Is that true?
Absolutely.
And is it something that they have to really teach, teach you like in boot camp, in basic, all that stuff, that no, American has a superior fighting force, so it's, you know, the power is on our side?
Oh yeah, power is absolutely on our side, and it's pretty common, you know, arguments and kind of fun, the banter that the Israeli military is probably the best in the world. They really are. I mean, it makes sense. They're constantly battling, nonstop war. They're surrounded by people who hate them. However, they don't have the technology and the numbers that we do, and that's why America is still known as the premier ultimate force out there.
And technology really matters. Like having this stuff like
fun.
like what Greg's got with the PBNs, you know, what we have coming out very soon with Death Star Reloaded, it's going to blow your guys' minds. Very, very exciting what we're about to reveal inside of Project X. We made it a very small part of the marketing, but you're going to really, really benefit from this. You're going to be able to take even low power PBNs and really soup them up, or take a high power PBN and really go nuts. Yeah, I'm very, very excited for everybody here. Now, Scott, you actually got a look at the blueprint that I've been making up for people, and you're pretty excited about it. What was it about the blueprint that I've been making up that was getting you fired up?
I absolutely love it. It is probably the #1 most important piece in the training, period. Yeah, it's not the most, you're not going to get the deep down details on how to attack and win, but you're getting the overall picture. You need the big picture before you can attack and win. If you keep hearing about this PBN or I don't know, scroll down there, you know, see whatever else pops up that might, you know, day job killer or
Penguin, Panda.
updates, yeah, Panda, all that, any of these things, and you're just confused. Well, what's that? I don't know what that is. And that's how I was at the beginning. Their training is absolutely phenomenal, but when there's certain terms that were used that I just didn't understand. Silo is a huge one.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on here? What are they talking about? So I had to kind of fake it till I made it and do my own research on the side and ask other people, what do they mean by this? Because I had no idea, because this didn't exist then. But this absolutely is amazing. It is something I will be still going back to just for refreshers and just having that reminder. Oh, you know what? I forgot all about that particular tactic or
Nice.
this GSA campaign or whatever it might be. So it's powerful, and it's so easy to, it still works, but it's easy to read, easy to understand, and it's in the basic terms that any newbie can get.
Great. Great. I really appreciate you saying that. Yeah, I've put a ton of focus into it. I've been really dug into this since probably since Saturday or Sunday. So I'm really fired up to get this out to everybody. So, all right. Well, I want to thank Scott for coming on. This is incredible. Really appreciate you coming on. I want to bring on one final guest before I go. If you have final thank yous for Scott, now's a great time to give them. And really, Scott, I appreciate you coming on. It's an inspiration.
Oh, my pleasure. Always.
All right. I'm going to bring Mike Hayden live, Mike organizer. And we are going to keep on rolling here. All right. Has this been an exciting event so far? Give me the #1 if this is something unexpected, a little bit of fun if you're having a good time. Mike Hayden, are you there?
I am.
Are you having fun?
I'm loving it. It's good stuff.
Yeah. Would you did you pick up some pointers this event? Aha moment for you here or there?
Yeah, I did. Some of the stuff that Jason was sharing, and then I mean some of the tactical stuff from Scott was particularly useful for me. I mean, I've been doing it a long time, and there's still stuff that I'm learning every day. So, good stuff.
Oh, Jesus, City on a Hill. Speaking of which,
Yeah.
you know, I was going through the news items at the beginning of this event, and one of the things that I didn't get to is that right around this time last week, if we dig back into our members area here, This is the spring members area, but it's the same as the winter one. Then we just added this web design area, and this is something that that Mike and Clinton Dixon helped me put together. And this is a a robust series here. I've got a little bit more coming in this series, actually. We've got the design walkthrough, and we've got a supplemental series that me and Mike created. And then we'll have a conversion series to come. Mike, you've also made available Wild Country, which is the same as, it's actually even a little bit better than what I use for NashvilleSEO.org and for OliviaWild.org. And also, and I'll just put this out right now, for the next few days, Mike and Clinton have Design Supremacy, which is a new course all about web design. I endorse it. I believe I was the first person to buy it.
You were, yes.
So I'm a proud member myself, and it's really neat that that we have this ability to not just rank a website, but really to have a great looking website. It makes a huge difference. And I want to point out that when you have design questions, it is so smart to take advantage of the fact that Mike and Clinton are so often in that members area, in the Facebook group, in the beginners Facebook group, and the regular Facebook group, answering questions about settings on Catalyst. And actually, Mike, can we get a little down and dirty here? I've got this "You Are Here" home thing. How do I get rid of this?
You just turn off breadcrumbs.
Well, how do I do that? Let's do it. Can we fix it right now? Glenn Ingram's been trying to get me to fix this.
Let's do it live.
I don't know. I mean, I just want to fix it. It's just driving me nuts. It was actually David Mills kind of heckles me about it. So where do I go?
I believe it is in core options.
Okay, so Catalyst core options. Now I'm in Catalyst. Normally you'd be in Genesis for the folks at home. All right. So what would I do here?
It's a little different watching it on someone else's. I think it's under content.
Okay. Okay, so it's like breadcrumbs here?
There it is. Yeah, so you just uncheck all of them.
That's it?
Mm-hmm. And then save.
Let's check it out. Let's see. Let's find out.
Fingers crossed, nothing like doing it live.
Hey,
in front of...
looks much better.
Woohoo!
There we go. Okay, great. That's great. All right, Mike, what are some tips that you give for people who are just getting started out? Because we have people who feel like it's such a big hurdle to first get their website hosted and then install WordPress and get the site up and running. What would you say to somebody who's just getting started out and feeling, we talked about intimidation when it comes to competition. What about intimidation when it comes to web design?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people, myself included, started out kind of going, okay, there's all these amazing looking websites out there, and you think that you have a web design bone in your body, a graphics design bone in your body, and then you start replicating what other people are doing, and then it just gets a whole lot easier. And you have skins that you work with. You're used to creating. You used to working with a particular system. In this case, Genesis Dynamic or Catalyst Dynamic, and then it just becomes easy. I don't know, like all of a sudden you wake up and go, wait, I just did that. Hey, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
Or you get compliments from someone, or someone pays you a whole lot of money because they love your web design. So yeah, crazy.
And actually, offering web design has been one of the chief ways that you've acquired clients throughout the years.
Yeah.
So that can be a really
one of the best ways. That was one of the main income sources for myself through law school. So there's good money in it.
Yeah. By the way, what's better, law school or OMG?
Oh man, I wish I hadn't have done law school. I would have been so far ahead. if presuming that OMG had been available back then, which unfortunately it wasn't, back in 2001, 2002. So yeah, yeah, if Project X had have been available back then, I probably would have done that, started making a whole lot of money, and went, you know what, I think I'll just stick with this and skip the 5 years of enormous amounts of study.
That's great. So let me ask you this: as you were listening to, I want to kind of close things out. We're about the hour and a half mark. I try to keep this to an hour, but that hasn't happened anywhere near. Let me ask you, and I said at the end of the event, we've had almost everybody stick on throughout the event. I really appreciate that. So I'll give the opportunity for a few people, anybody who stayed on the whole event who really wants access right now to the Project X guide. I'll tell you how to do that. But I want to put the same scenario to you, Mike, that I put to Jason and to Scott. If you were contacted by Auto Power in Perth, then how would you handle that initial meeting? If they said, well, Mike, we contacted you about web design. We you told us that you could do that, and met you at the coffee shop, and you mentioned you do web design, you mentioned you do SEO, and then they said to you, well, what makes you different? Then what do how do you answer that question? What's your kind of answer to that?
Well, the main thing that makes me different is my competitors. They're all agencies. They're all groups of people, companies, or whatever. So the biggest difference is that if you work with me, you're dealing with me. I'm not going to send the work off to somewhere in India and get that done. And you're dealing with someone that you've never met or anything like that. They're dealing directly with me. Also, because it's myself, my overheads are a lot lower, so I can give them a lot better service for their price, and a lot better product for the same price as any of the competitors.
That's great. So basically, you're a one-man gang.
I am.
I love hearing that answer. It never gets old.
Yeah.
And it works. It works like it really works like crazy. I've got a.
It works very well. Yeah.
Yeah.
Particularly working in the local niche, as in local day job killer.
Yeah.
People really appreciate that. Okay, so I know that I'm going to be dealing with you, and not an employee or someone that's not skilled. So they can look up my resume, they can look up the stuff that I've done, and go, okay, well, this guy knows what he's doing, and so yeah, go from there.
Great. I want to pull up that thread. I'm going to pull up our. How many people are just absolutely, by the way, in love with our NHB team Facebook group and our beginners acceleration and support Facebook group? Give me the number one if you're just absolutely in love with that. Actually, do it this way. Let's make it public. Let's make it a little bit public. Go into the OMG team and pull up this post that I'm in, and just give me a boom if you love this group. So I just put a boom in. Let me see how many booms I can get. It's in the OMG team Facebook group. If you had fun on this event and you feel like OMG is a city on a hill and you want to put the word out, then give us a boom right there. It's a little bit of fun for us all. Oh, there's Tony. There's Brian. Anybody else? Oop, Mike Hayden. Boom, pound, city on a hill. Farron, Pedro. All right. Getting there. Paul. Boom. Yeah, boom diggity, Scott says. That's great. Boom kaboom from Dave Keys. Yeah, this is a good feeling. Richard, Jeffrey.
There's so much energy in the group. I love it. Both the beginners group and the regular group.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that. Yeah, thanks everybody. This is Pip. Boom boom. Yeah, heck yeah. Ann. Thanks, Ann. Appreciate that. It's wonderful. Yeah, I hope everybody, one of the things I like to have out of these events when we have them. Hey, Ted. Cotton. Oh, Cotton. Man, let me grab Cotton. I want to see if I can bring Cotton. Do you have a microphone? I've been wanting to bring Cotton live during one of these events. Cotton's in St. Louis, and he's number one for his city SEO. He's been tearing it up. Let me just find out. Let me unmute him. Cotton, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, man. How's it going?
Hey, how are you?
Good.
Going fantastic.
So I got a message from you a little while back. I won't talk about the context or anything, but it was really cool. It was a cool opportunity to meet you. Is that right? Are you in St. Louis?
Yes, I am.
How's it going for you? Does OMG work?
It's good. It's going fantastic. Actually, I've got 4 or 5 positions on page 1 for St. Louis SEO, St. Louis SEO expert, agency, firm, all the way across the board. The training is absolutely amazing.
Are you making a little bit of money?
Yeah, actually, I just crossed the $25,000 a month mark this week.
What?
Yeah.
No earnings report? Well, now I'm getting it. See, I knew when I saw you that just so everybody knows, I had absolutely no idea. Lauren's giving you a big smiley bouncy face. Let me pull up. This is really the amazing thing about OMG. You have no idea of how many people who are out there. We have hundreds of people making a few thousand a month. Over 100 making 5 figures per month. And then just so many individuals like Cotton and like Scott and like Jason who are making north of $20,000 per month, which is way more money than a doctor makes. I mean, what does your family even say about that when you just have so much money to spend?
My late family was pretty skeptical when I first started this, but I was very confident. I've been searching for such a long time to find my way to make money online. I knew that when I found this and when I first started digging into it, that I had finally found something real. I think we've all been there before, where we went through the WSOs and went through everything and wasted money after money after money trying to find things. That one key thing that we knew that if we tried that and we dug into it, that it would work. And this is the only thing that I've found to be able to bring success to anyone that follows the formula.
A lot of people are looking for exact step-by-step instructions, and we try to provide them as much as possible. We have kind of a methodology inside of OMG, and I'm sure there are some times when you felt overwhelmed or confused or whatever. How did you push through the confusion and the overwhelm to get to the point where you're at now, where you're just absolutely killing it?
I'm going to be honest with you. I was down to, and I'll share a little bit of what I shared with you before. I was down to my last $12,000, and I decided to take a chance on Project X, and I've literally spent about 60 hours for about 5 weeks in a row digging into everything. I think the best advice that I can give everyone, I know SEO backwards and forwards now. I think I can compete with some of the top people with everything that I follow because it's all right there in the program. One of the main things I've done is I've listened to every video. I've listened to every one of Becker's videos, and what I found was when people buy into programs, one of the things they're not doing the most is digging in and get fully immersed in everything. I know a lot of people don't have as much time as I did, but everything there is 100% at our fingertips, and if we apply it, the sky's the limit.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. Let me do this since we got this rare opportunity. AutoPower contacts you. Okay, so let's say they contact you through your city SEO, and you sit down for a meeting with AutoPower, and they say, we're collecting bids and stuff like that, and talking to different people. What makes you different, Cotton? Why should we pick you over somebody else to represent the AutoPower brand?
Well, before I get started, I do things very, very differently than what I've heard the guys do, and what they do is very good. What I do is I pre-qualify people before I even speak to them, and what that means is I tell them that I can't help everyone, and I only select a certain amount of people that I work with. And what I do is I send them through an application process on my website, and I get all the pertinent information that I need, website, their keywords they're going after, whether they're doing any advertising or anything, and I tell them that based upon what I look at, then I'll get back with them to tell them if I can help them or not. What that does is it puts them, letting them know that I just don't work with everybody, and the people that I do work with, I have success for. So I make it a very small club, and I let them know that I'll get back with them to let them know if I can even do business with them or not. And I found that to be very successful. So I kind of reverse it around on them. Instead of sitting down and me trying to sell them, I have them selling me.
And what are some of the things that you're looking for before you make a decision that you do want to work with somebody?
I have to go in and look at obviously whether the price point of their company. Obviously, there's not much I can do for a Subway or a Burger King. You know, the average cost per client coming in there is only going to be $8 to $10. What I'm looking for is high-priced, high-ticket items. For instance, it was a rail car company that was selling a door opener that I'd never even heard of before. They sell a gadget that opens up rail car doors, but that particular item that they sell is anywhere from $10,000 to $18,000.
Wow.
So by being able to bring in just a few more people to their website with search engine optimization or going after some different keywords and doing some keyword research, you know, you're able to find that you're able to bring them about another 1,000 people. And if they can even close 20 or 30 of those, look at the return of investment that I was able to bring on them by even charging $4,000 or $5,000 a month. So I like look for high ticket clients and try to stay away from people that I know that I can't bring a return of investment on. And I turn down quite a few people. There's a lot of people that I just can't help, and I let people know that up front, and they've still wanted to hire me. You know, they've still begged me to work for them. So I've took a lot of pages from Frank Kern and from other stuff to where it's real important that I have them apply to work for me, not me apply to work for them.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I like that. It's a good thing I taught Frank that, huh?
Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, I'm not kidding. So great. It was actually, it's funny that you mentioned that. The last time I saw Frank out in La Jolla, he was telling me that the reason that he did his whole $10,000 a month upfront thing is because that's what I charged XM Radio to meet with me in the first place back in like 2007. So yeah, what Cotton's saying really does work. For the longest time, I would charge a $10,000 retainer just to meet with me, and it worked. You know, there's different ways of skinning a cat. Am I saying that that's necessarily the way that you need to go with things? You know, you've heard a lot of great different approaches. I thought Cotton's approach was refreshing, just like Scott's and Jason's and Mike's was. And you know, I just really appreciate that. This is just such an extraordinary community that we have here. And Cotton, as good an example as anything. You coming on like this and sharing, you know, not just grateful but incredibly generous tonight. And actually, I want to make Cotton an organizer before we go, so he can enjoy your thank yous, because he definitely deserves a lot of thank yous for coming live and sharing everything. So if you want to line up your thank yous in the question box, or if you want to actually, even better yet, if you want to go to that thread on the.
If it wasn't for you in this course, I don't know where I would be. So I just wanted to give you a deep thank you.
Oh, wow. Thank you, Cotton. You know, Greg and David are incredible, and them putting this together, and our members are incredible. I'm busy typing up a thank you to Cotton. I'm on Facebook right now. I'm thanking Cotton. I'm thanking, oh wait, somehow it got stopped there. I'm thanking Cotton. I'm thanking, ooh, why is it not doing it right? Okay, there we go, Cotton. And I want to thank Mike Hayden. Yeah, somehow I'm getting this thing messed up. But anyways, please type on Facebook. Please type your thank yous to everybody here. And I just really appreciate it. I want to thank Cotton. I want to thank Jason Boyd. I want to thank Mike Hayden. And I want to thank Scott Schaff. And I want to thank Steve Matrome, if I can get him on here. Oh, it's with a PH. And I want to see, there's one more person I was hoping to bring on live. There we go, Stephen Trome. Yeah, lots of thank yous coming in. Hopefully people are really seeing what's possible here with this Stage Uphill local client consulting thing. Cotton, thank you. Hopefully you can see all these thank yous both on Facebook and in the question box. It's it's an inspiration.
Thank you once again.
Really appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to mute Cotton there. That's incredible. $25,000 a month. Awesome. Now, what I want to do, there's somebody who I asked. Yeah. Let's see if Angela's around. Angela, are you there? Angela's like, what? Angela, are you there? I can hear myself. I bet I can hear you if you talk. Angela may have stepped away from her computer. All right. Angela? All right. We'll meet Angela. She will find out later that I missed her.
And then she's there. She just can't find her headphones.
Oh, she can't find her headphones. Oh, let's bring her back live then. Let's bring her back live. Angela, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I just don't want to make an echo.
Okay, so Angela, last night I was telling you that I think you could do day job killer local client consulting, and initially you weren't sure. How do you feel now?
I feel so much better now. I'm actually like building my PBN as we speak.
What made a difference for you?
Well, just hearing about how other people are doing it made me feel a lot better.
And before, you felt a little bit intimidated, like maybe in your city it was going to be too difficult.
Oh, totally. I mean, I'm in Dallas, you know, home of Alex Becker and a couple of other people, and so I thought, oh my gosh, there's no way I can do this here. But now that I've heard that people are having success in competitive cities like Melbourne and a couple other cities that were mentioned here, I'm feeling much more optimistic about my prospects for success.
And there's just so many businesses out there. So.
Yeah. I mean, I'm still not sure what the best way to market my services is, but I did get a My City SEO dot something name, and so I'm going to use my private blog network that I'm building to send some links to that. So hopefully I can get that to rank fairly quickly.
Great. Yeah, and there's a bunch of different ways of getting clients. All right. I want to thank Angela. Please everybody give Angela a thank you. I'm actually going to make her an organizer so she can see the question box if you want to thank her as well. I'm going to pop into the box and thank Angela. Angela. Real good sport. Just came online. She was feeling a little bit overwhelmed. I think she's feeling a little better. So let's see. Okay, Angela, so you can look in the question box and you will see thank yous from people that appreciate you being such a good sport about things. And, this has been a lot of fun for me. OMG is a city on a hill. We're serious about this. Got to celebrate a new huge success. I haven't let the cat out of the bag on Cotton success, and it's a new big thing for me. Every time we hear about something like that, it just even saying that something like that, like somebody who took a few months and now makes way more money than most doctors make. It's a big deal to me. Now let's go through some client getting stuff in your members area, since Angela brought up that great point. So first of all, there's your city SEO. There's also your city web design and your city other terms like digital marketing, lead generation, all kinds of different stuff. Clinton Dixon actually just had one of his cool Google Hangouts about this. I jumped in on it for a few minutes a couple of days ago, just thinking of different keywords that you could rank for. You can also go into your monetization area, and right in here is that script that you hear from so many people. In your monetization B-book by David Mills and by Greg Morrison, you started about page 12. There's that great script on why it is that somebody should pick you over somebody else. It's right here. And you heard different versions of that tonight several times over. In your field training area, there's this wonderful field training with Joe Marfolio, with Fletch, with Glenn Ingram. Go through these. These are invaluable resources right here. Just seeing how other people are doing it. As I click in on your day job killer local client consulting area, this right here has been a total breath of fresh air for people. This is David Hood. David and I actually go through acquisition through cold calling in this video. You actually see me live doing cold calling right here on number 3, and you see David doing competitive analysis and so forth. People have loved this series with David on acquisition, pricing, and follow-up. I also just added a module with Brian Magnosi. Brian and I are actually continuing on with this with this module soon. Right here with your city SEO, you'll actually see me doing sales conversations with customers, successful sales conversations with customers, starting here, video 2, 15 minutes at $500. you'll see me actually talking live to customers and closing deals, five-figure deals right then and there. Your niche SEO with David Keys, that one's also very valuable. Mary Semmer's web approach letter is very valuable. It's the kind of thing you could even do on Craigslist. Remember, you can. This is something that Donna's doing. So smart, Donna from the Philippines. She's overseas and wanted to know. Well, I'm in the Philippines. How can I get American clients? How about I use Craigslist? Well, she's just advertising on Craigslist for web design. What if you feel like you can't do web design? Well, how about going to your Project X home and scrolling down to your web design walkthrough? And of course, if you really want to step it up to the next level, you can take Mike's and Clinton's course. I officially endorse that course. I think it's great. I think it's very valuable. But there's a great web design walkthrough here, and you get the Wild Country skin right here for free, only because you're a member of Project X with Mike and Clinton's compliments. Really, really terrific area. There's so many different ways. Also, just talking to people that you know, it's such a big deal. I think that's how Scott got his start. So many different people got their start that way. And OMG's City on Hill. This is an awesome area here that we have, awesome time that we have. There's also Fletch's 60 days. Fletch's first 60 days, so valuable here for client consulting right here. 60 days to day job killer. Fletch right here. This is in Fletch's area. Let me know what you like the most tonight. I'd love to see. You can post it here in the main post that I have. This one right here, the Michael Long area here. Let me know what you liked about tonight, what your big aha moment was. I appreciate all of you. I appreciate everybody coming live. OMG's a City on a Hill. I really hope that you got kind of a different sense of things tonight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to close things out by telling you how you get early access to this Project X blueprint that I'm working on. And first of all, if something being kind of halfway done is going to be at all a problem for you, then just wait. It's going to be much more done. I'm working on it feverishly right now. I'm really enjoying it. So you can certainly wait for a much more completed version. What I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till I'm really done with the supremacy area. This is not meant to replace your membership area. It's not meant to replace your videos and your training or your Facebook group or your coaching with Greg and Fletch, or it's not meant to replace these acceleration, Money Game with Mike acceleration webinars. It's meant as a complement. It's meant as a companion to help you along. But if you particularly feel like early access to this would help you, then what you can do is you can email me at omg@omgmachines.com and ask for access, and I'll try to set you up. So you can email me early, omg@omgmachines.com, and ask to be added. It's a Google Drive document, so you'll get to experience it live. This is for members of Project X in good standing, and I'm really proud of it. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with it. And over the next several days, you can also just wait. I'll make an official announcement about it in your members area and in the Facebook group when it's fully ready to be live. Right now, there's all kinds of things that are not completed with it. There's no table of contents yet. There's a number of places where I'm just not done. I've just got like little notes here. Some of the definitions aren't done yet. Like you'll see trust. I just type AS''FLKJ. That's just me smashing the keyboard real quick, just to remember to put something there. But if you really want super fast access to it, if you want to jump in now, you can email me at omg@omgmachines.com for those of you that stayed to the end of the webinar tonight. And I want to thank everybody. I just think if you kind of especially get why I say that OMG is a City on a Hill after tonight, if it makes kind of particular extra sense to you, then go ahead and go to that Facebook thread and type in City on a Hill, because it's a big deal to us. We tell people we do this whole OMG thing half for profit and half because we really want to celebrate these public earnings reports and triumphs. It's a big deal to us. It's a big deal that we do this. We can be making money a bunch of different places, a bunch of different ways. So I put this little City on Hill hashtag. If you kind of something particularly touch a chord for you tonight, and you want to post it on there, or just post like Paul just did, City on Hill, just a little post, then just let us know. Let us know what your thoughts are. where you're coming from, and you know what your aha moments were tonight. Oh, that's great. Paul typed in Paul D. Paul, we had 3 Pauls. I told you there was Paul after Paul after Paul. Connie just typed in. That's wonderful. Yeah. This is City on a Hill. It's a place where friends come together in Providence. And I think that you're seeing that more and more. Cotton? Yeah, Cotton. Congratulations, man. I'm so fired up for you. That's just awesome. And really, really great insight. So many different ways to skin a cat. Oh, come on, Paul. Paul's just clowning around there. Paul D's a good man, too. So is Paul Fournier. Really appreciate y'all. Steven, another Paul. Ted Poston. That's great. I really appreciate you all. So we went. I planned it for 1 hour. It went 2, but I think it was well worth it. You know, really appreciate everybody's time. And just like Mike Hayden just said, special thanks to Mike Hayden. Special thanks to Jason Boyd, Cotton Grammar, Scott Schaff, Stephen Tomey, Angela. It was a great Webby today. Lauren came live on a webinar a couple days ago, so thanks to her. Having a lot of fun here. I hope you guys are having fun. Hope you're having as much fun as I am. And I want to just say, God bless you all and have a great night. Scott, you came live. Did you mean to?
Yeah, actually, just read email. Thought you guys might get a kick out of.
Yeah, lay it on.
It just touches on what Cotton was talking about of valuing yourself and your expertise. And I use that lightly because I still feel like I'm not an expert, but it works. What I learned works. It's from one of my clients from my very first big profitable website. As a brand new guy in September of just this last year, not even a year ago, I started building my very first website on your teachings. And it took me 3 months to rank that site #1. Very competitive niche in Denver, Colorado. And I got it marketed out there. And I just got an email from my client saying he's sending me $44,980 this month for that website.
He's sending you what?
And can you guess how much time I've spent on that
Whoa,
site?
whoa. How much did you say?
4,980.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah, and that's a half hour's worth of work. That half hour was spent sending him the monthly call logs. That's all I did. That's it. I mean, it's incredible, you know, to make almost $5,000 a month for a half hour's worth of work. It still blows my mind.
I hope everyone's getting what I'm telling you. Get off everybody else's list, okay? Just please. Scott, would you just tell them?
What's that?
Just tell them to get off everybody else's list.
Get off their list. This is it. This is it. This is where you need to be. It's incredible. And one thing that Steve and I were talking the other day that I've decided as a phrase, I don't know if I've heard this somewhere else, and I'm just bringing it subconsciously, but I've told this to clients, and they agree. They actually respect it. As I tell them, I am not the least expensive option that you have, but I am the most cost-effective option that you have. And that's just saying that, yeah, I'm not cheap, but at the same time, I'm going to get results. Yeah. So just value yourself. It's so much better making $4,000 a month from 10 clients than $1,000 a month from 40 clients. I mean, just think about it. Think about the workload difference.
I love it. That's some great stuff.
That's all.
That's a perfect way to close out tonight. Perfect way to close out tonight. Scott, thank you so much. Thank you for everybody to stay with us the full 2 hours. It's incredible. Jesus City on Hill. I pray to Jesus for y'all to have just incredible success. I pray for you to have wisdom and health, and for God to take care of you like you're just a little baby infant. I really did. Every day, several times a day. So thank you everybody for coming on. Thank you for the just wonderful energy. Jesus City on Hill. It's a place of Providence where friends come together. And tonight, just as good of an example as any that you'll ever see. So thank you so much, everybody. Really appreciate you spending your valuable time with me tonight. And I will see you next week at next week. I'm going to be here 12 p.m. noon. No, 12 a.m. 12 p.m. 12 p.m. noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific. We'll be back on for Money Getting with Mike. We're going to keep working on accelerating you. It's going to be a city on a hill. We're going to keep it rolling. If you particularly want to get early access to that document, email me at omg@omgmachines. God bless all of you. Really appreciate it, and have a wonderful night.